Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me on my first vlog. This is a little out of my comfort zone, but I decided just to go ahead and do it anyway. And I hope you're blessed by what I have to share. So a few years ago, I started a blog and I struggled with if I should do that or not because there were already so many awesome blogs out there. And I kind of wondered why I felt the need to start a blog when we already had so many good ones that existed. And something else I do is write music. And I'm always like, I hear something and I'm like, oh, that's a song. And I'm always feeling the need to create new music. And so a question that I've had a lot is, why do I always feel like I need to write new music when there's already so many great songs out there? Well, a few years ago, I was able to go to Nashville, Tennessee, and I was able to be with hundreds of other songwriters like myself. And we were able to sit under the great songwriter, Jenny Lee Riddle, and she spoke into our lives. And this must be something that is a common question when people feel the need to create. And it must be something that a lot of people ask ourselves because she spoke straight to that question. And she acknowledged that there's nothing new under the sun. Anything that we could say has already been said. But the thing that gave me encouragement is that there's also no one that can say those things from my perspective, because all of my past experiences and all the things that I have been through, all the things that make me who I am, give me a different perspective on things that have already been said. So I could say something and it could come out one way and it could speak to a certain group of people. But then you could say something, and with your past experiences, it could come out a totally different way and speak to a totally different group of people. I also said in a class just a couple months ago for some vocal training, and the instructor in that class said something that backed this up even more. She said, sound is determined by the shape it comes out of. You're the only person that can make the sound that comes out of you. She went on to explain that no two people on the face of this earth have the same exact shaped head with the same sized mouth and everything that makes up a person's sound. Therefore, there is no one on this earth that can make the sound that is intended to come from your mouth. Now that just hit me hard. I love that. Now, my husband is a pastor, and he has preached before that unity does not equal uniformity. My sound will not be exactly like yours, but we can work together for the same cause to make Jesus known and glorified. You have a unique sound, a unique calling. It's yours, and no one but you can do what you've been called to do. People say all the time that if you quit your job, they'll just find someone else to do it because we're all replaceable. Well, here's the thing. That may be true in a job, but it most definitely is not true in your personal life. Have you ever noticed in the church when someone who regularly comes stops coming, it just feels different. It feels like something's missing. People are asking where that person is, and there's something different and they're missed. That's because something is different. Even if they didn't realize it, they were changed in the atmosphere just by being there. So it's noticed and it's felt. Also, as a mom, daughter, and wife, I try my best to be at as many sporting events and as I can for my son. He plays a lot of sports, and I love to be at his games. And I also try to be there to pick my daughter up from gymnastics. We're blessed to be able to have a gymnastics that has a garage door on the side of the building. So for the last probably 5 minutes, they'll raise the door and we're able to still be outside and, distance and all that stuff. But we can watch what they've done for the past hour in their class. And we're able to see the progress that they're making. So I try to be there for as many things as I can. I feel like it's a way for me to support them and just show them that I'm interested in what they're doing and the progress that they're making. Sometimes I'm not able to be there, but they understand that Mom wants to be there. If she can, she's going to be there. So I want to think that my presence is showing that I care about them, that I take interest in the things that they like to do. And I see that it is working, and I see that they do notice it. Whenever they do something big or, something that they think is good, they'll kind of glance to see if I was watching. And I'm pretty sure that this is I'm onto something here, because the other day when I picked my daughter up from gymnastics, one of the little girls actually walked over to the door, and her mom was talking to somebody else, and she stood there and put her hand on her hip, and she said, "Mom, you ain't watching." Poor Mom. She said, "Okay, I'm watching." She was called out. So that doesn't change as we get older either. A million people could tell me I did something good, but to hear my parents or my husband say, "You did a good job. You're really doing good at that," or, that can't be replaced. And it can't be replaced because no one else can fulfill their roles in who they are to me. I heard somebody say before that God has called each of us to do something, and He expects us to do it. Nothing more, nothing less. But He does expect us to do what He's called us to do. Maybe God has called you to go to another country and preach the gospel, but more likely He hasn't. He may be calling you to be a stay-at-home mother and teach your kids about Jesus, or to just take a neighbor a meal, or call a friend to show them that you care about them and that you love them, you're thinking about them, or to pray for a stranger. If you neglect your calling because you don't think it's as great as somebody else's, even if you've chosen to do something that you think is bigger, say you've chosen to do not to do one of those things that you thought was small, and chose to go to the other country and preach the gospel. If you do that and it's not what you were called to do, you've missed it. And that's what God calls failing. Even if what you accomplish, you feel like it's a big thing, if it's not what He's called you to do, then you've missed the mark. So I pray that we can all recognize the value in the small things, and that we can know if God's calling us to do something, even if it doesn't seem all that great to you, it is significant. The world needs you to use your gifts for the kingdom of God. Your story, mistakes and all, can and will be a part of your testimony if you allow it to. It matters, and it can change people's lives if you let it. I've heard it said that God has His own economy, and nothing is wasted in it. So if you write, do it for the glory of God. If you paint, do it for the glory of God. If you vlog, do it for the glory of God. And whatever you do, don't let anybody silence the voice that God has placed in you. I pray that you'll be blessed today. Thank you for watching.